Anyway, why did I do that? Welcome back to BellaBoo's Lunches. If you're new, welcome. Happy you're here. Today we're making a chicken gyro couscous plate. It is so good. We've made it multiple times. The ingredients that you're going to need are shallots, cucumbers, cherry tomatoes, some dill weed, a lemon for the zest and the juice, as well as some hummus, za'atar seasoning, I'm sure I did not say that right, some chicken breasts, feta cheese, chicken bouillon cubes, or like the liquid concentrate, as well as some sour cream. So let's get into making it. I'm starting by chopping up my cucumber. Now I'm using an English cucumber, but you could totally use a Persian cucumber. Also, I'm going to put all the ingredients up here on the screen now. That way it gives you the opportunity to screenshot it. I know I like doing that when I am cooking. That way I have an easy spot that I can go and just double check it. And if I get stumped, I know I can come back and watch the video, but at least you'll have the ingredients screenshotted. That's always helpful to me. Is that helpful to you? I hope so. So once you have your cucumbers chopped up, take your shallot and we are going to slice half of it and dice the other half. The sliced half, I'm going to throw into a bowl of ice water. That helps take out some of that bitter bite to the onion, especially because we're not cooking it. So I always like to try to tame that onion as much as I can because they can be quite potent if you don't. So just throw the half that you sliced into a little bowl of ice water. Bella's actually going to throw an ice cube in there in a little bit and take the other half and dice it up and just set it aside. Next, I am quartering my tomatoes, and of course, Bella is in the kitchen with me talking my ear off, telling me all of her stories, which I absolutely love. So if you don't have your kids in the kitchen with you helping out, bring them in. You're going to get a ton of awesome stories. And it's just another great way that you can bond with them. So she is helping me out by getting all the cucumbers and tomatoes off my cutting board into a bowl so that I can zest my lemon. Now I'm using a microplane grater, but use what you got. Just zest your lemon up. Then go ahead and slice your lemon in half and set it aside. To make the cucumber tomato salad, I have added some dill weed and then half of my lemon juice to it. Now, I know I'm juicing my lemon wrong. I've always juiced my lemon wrong. I know you should hold it up, keep the seeds in there. I just kind of pull the seeds out, and if a couple fall in, I'm never too worried about it. And this lemon had a ton of seeds in it. I don't know what this lemon's problem was. Add a drizzle of olive oil, some salt and pepper. Give it a quick little mix and then add in your shallot. Mix it up one more time. I don't know. I just try to keep the shallot in that ice water for as long as possible. But now I need it to start getting the flavors all into my little salad. So I do end up eventually adding it. All right. Now, let's move on to our stove. Over medium to high heat, I have heated up a drizzle of olive oil. Bella was a little heavy-handed, so it's about 2 tablespoons in there right now. I added in my minced shallot and cooked until softened. It took about 2 minutes for that to happen. And then I added in my couscous.
Oh my gosh, that's so satisfying.
Continuing to cook it on medium to high heat, you're going to stir the couscous around every few seconds. I mean, you don't have to stand over it and continue to stir, but you want the couscous to toast up and get just slightly brown. But it quickly goes from brown to burned very fast, so don't walk away from your stove. And if you're anything like me, just keep stirring. Don't stop stirring. And after about 2 to 3 minutes, it's going to be perfect. Add your chicken bouillon cube or concentrate, or if you have a can of it, pour that in. And at this point, all we're going to do is wait for it to come to a boil. You could add a little bit of salt and pepper if you wanted to. That way it kind of gets cooked into the couscous as well. But that, again, is totally up to you. We're going to bring this up to a boil. As soon as it reaches a boil, we are going to cover it, drop our heat down to low, and let it simmer for about 6 to 8 minutes. You'll know it's cooked when it's tender. And if there's still a lot of liquid left in your pan, go ahead and just drain that off. Now, while our couscous is cooking, we are going to prep our chicken. This is another situation where I say involve your kids because they can help you season your chicken breasts so that you are able to flip them without having to go and wash your hands a million times between every step. So we have salt and pepper and za'atar seasoning on both sides of our chicken breasts. I am now taking them over to my pan that has been heating on my stove with some oil in it, and I am just going to pan fry these chicken breasts until they are cooked all the way through. The last thing we need to make is the dressing or the saucy sauce. So to make this, we're going to take our sour cream, feta cheese, and lemon zest and mash them all together. Then about a tablespoon or two at a time, we're going to start adding water to try to thin it out a little bit and make it drizzly. Does that make sense? I don't know if that makes sense. Do you get it? I bet you get it. Okay, so for mine, I could have totally added more water, but I didn't. So just know you can add as much or as little water as you prefer. Also, it's okay if there are some chunks in there. It's all right. I actually like to have bits of feta inside of mine. The next thing that I did, you can totally just skip, but instead of just slicing up my chicken, I just kind of chopped it up into bite-sized pieces just to make it easier for when we sat down to eat. We didn't have to worry about knives, okay? So sometimes that just makes my life a little bit easier, and that's what I do. It's easier for me to cut them up on a cutting board than to cut them on a plate. So I chopped mine. All right, it is now time to plate this bad boy. So I like to do my hummus and couscous kind of next to each other. And then I pile on the chicken, pile on the cucumbers and tomatoes, drizzle that dressing all over the entire plate, and I'm done. And we're ready to go and eat. So my one little tip is to make sure you're getting the hummus, couscous, tomatoes, cucumbers, and chicken and dressing all in one bite. It is game changing. It's so good. So if you try this out, please tag me on Instagram. Take a picture, post it on Instagram, tag me, please. I want to see your plates and tell me how much you love this. I'm not kidding you. It's really good. Anyway, thanks so much for watching. I'll see you in our next video. Bye.
Thanks for watching, and don't forget to hit the subscribe button, hit that bell, and comment. Bye.